Hi, folks. We're here with Jim Montgomery of the Jim Montgomery Swim School, and Jim's been an amazing man his whole life. He was on my swim team in Indiana prior to me being there. 1976 Olympic gold medalist in a number of events, and he's absolutely amazing. So, Jim is running a special event coming up, and I wanted to tell everybody about this. I think it's really fantastic. Jim, thanks for joining us. Take it away.
All right, thanks everybody. I've been doing open water swims all over the world for the last 45 years. And one of my favorite places of all time is Sydney, Australia. And I've taken three groups there to swim the beaches of Sydney, and as many as 20 people. And I took a group again last December to Sydney. So I'm just going to kind of walk through kind of what we do and how we do it. So last December, we were traveled there right after Thanksgiving, and people showed up, on a Tuesday before the big event, which is the Bondi to Bronte beach swim off of Bondi Beach, which is a really popular swim. And so I had like 9 people do that swim plus myself. But this coming up for 2025, I've moved the swim to the end of January, which is called the Big Swim, which is in the northern beaches up there on from Palm Beach to Whale Beach on the last Sunday in January. That seems to be a better time for people, especially people that live way up in the northern United States, where they're just freezing their little behinds off in the end of January and want to go down to beautiful Sydney, Australia, which is at the height of their summer season. So basically what happens is I try to pick 5 beaches that are really popular, that are really good swims. And we culminate it with the big swim on Sunday, I believe, January 26th, 2025. So we kick off meeting on Bondi at the hotel, the Adena Hotel. I've stayed there, 6 or 7 times. It's the best place to stay. It's 3 blocks from Bondi Beach. It's surrounded by fabulous restaurants, coffee shops. Right underneath the hotel is a fabulous grocery store, and is the place to stay. It's not that expensive. If you want to share a room with somebody, you're probably looking at about $110 a night, and it does have a kitchen to it. So the location is absolutely ideal. So we get together as a group on Tuesday evening at a restaurant, fabulous Italian restaurant right underneath the hotel. And then starting Wednesday morning, we just trot down to the beach and we go over to the Bondi Iceberg Club, which has that iconic 50-meter outdoor pool, one of the most iconic pools in the whole world, where it sets up right next to the ocean. And at high tide, you'll see, the waves rushing, crushing over into the 50-meter pool. It's a saltwater pool, and it overlooks all of Bondi Beach. So we'll be doing, if you want a warm-up swim there, but we usually will do a warm down swim in that 50-meter pool. So we'll take the group down. And first, let me just say there's going to be probably several levels of swimmers here. We've got some very experienced swimmers, open water swimmers that are comfortable swimming 2 or 3K in the open water. And then I've always had some total newbies that would be called intermediate swimmers or pool swimmers that maybe, swim like, say, 2,000 to 2,500 yards in a 1-hour master's workout or whatever, that have never swum in open water before, total newbies, okay? And we'll get into the dangers in a little bit here. So we'll go down to Bondi Beach, and the big thing that I want to teach people the first day is how to get through the surf and how to end out of the surf, because you're going to have to go in and navigate, maybe dive down underneath the waves, keep swimming and keep diving down until you get into some open water. So I can, take you down all the way down the beach where the waters are pretty calm, and the newbies can start their baptism, so to speak, to open water swims. Is how do you just get out there? And then we'll swim, once we get out there, we'll swim down the beach, two groups. And we'll always be accompanied by the Bondi Beach lifeguards, which are world famous. Okay. I mean, they even have a TV program. Remember Baywatch,
Right.
and the beautiful women and the guys and stuff. Well, these people are more handsome and they're better and they know exactly what to do.
And
Uh,
plus, they're led by you, Jim. So
right.
that's all
And
I'm
I'm
saying.
usually in the water on those Bondi Beach swims. So once we get out there, we'll be probably separated into two groups. The advanced group, it's about 900 meters across the bay. You take a break and you can swim 900 meters back in beautiful open water, just maybe a couple hundred meters off the beach. And then we can go in and warm down in the 50-meter pool. So that's kind of the first morning, swim from there.
Are
Yeah.
they going to get a chance to spend some time with you as well while they're doing this? And did they get a chance to talk with you, things like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll be with them. I mean, pretty every step of the way. I'll be at pretty much every meal too. So,
So folks, as
well,
Australia is a big draw, but I think a huge draw is Jim. If you get to spend some time with him, you have a great time. He loves to
yeah,
have a great time.
yeah. Well, thank you. I've been, this will be probably my seventh trip to Australia.
Gotcha.
And this will be, I think, my fourth group that'll take, their, swimming. I've been over to Perth for the Masters World Championships. I've been up to Brisbane for the 88 World Masters Swimming Championships. So I've been up to Cairns, Melbourne, but my favorite city, the best international city in the world is Sydney, Australia. It's just a great place to vacation and to train and swim. So I've got a thing I can send out to people if they email me about the whole itinerary. But let me just run through it real quick. I guess we got safety and support are paramount to your swims. And of course, the first thing that people come up with is of the unknown. If I go out there in the open water, will I be attacked by you know what? Jaws or a shark or something like that. And again, that is a feeling that a lot of newbies have. And I've got some great statistics here to calm you down. In Australia, the chances of getting attacked by a shark are 1 in 8 million. And they're the same chances of being attacked by a kangaroo. Okay. So it's very rare. It's extremely safe. We're always swimming, usually in a bay, or we're swimming next to the coastline. And number three, you're accompanied by very trained safety personnel. So just stop the paranoia, get out of the media hype of a shark attack in Mozambique or something like that. And actually, there's 4 times more attacks in the United States than there are in Australia. And you got to remember, Australia population, 90% population of Australia, they live right on or next to the coast. So they know, everybody learns how to swim in Australia at an early age. So, there's no hidden dangers. Get rid of the scary feelings, the unknown, the unexpected. It's not going to happen. Okay. So get that out of your mind. So let's
But
get
it is
that
a
off
whole
the
lot of
table.
fun. I saw some of the videos you sent in from that, and we'll be showing a few here. But it looks like a great time, and that pool is incredible. That 50-meter pool,
Yeah.
amazing to see that water come in. What a fun time.
Yeah. It's good. So we'll start off, with an easy swim on on Wednesday morning and walk down together as a group. And And then we'll have lunch, together at a fabulous a restaurant. Bondi Beach is known for its unbelievable restaurants, and so is Sydney. And then we'll head over to Coogee Beach, which is about a 10 or 15-minute drive just south of Sydney. And that's again one of my favorite beaches, where it's smaller than Bondi. It's actually kind of called a little Bondi Beach or something like that. And they've got swim across the bay right there, or an advanced group will actually swim out if they want to and go around this island and then come back into shore. And we come back to the hotel, we change into some nice, flip-flops. I mean, it's real casual in Australia. And then we end up over there at a fabulous restaurant at the Coogee Pavilion, having a wonderful dinner. So that's the first day on Wednesday. Then Thursday is our day that we leave the hotel at 6 o'clock and we van it up to Manly, which is just north of across the bay from downtown Sydney. And this is another iconic swim over there where you go from Manly, which is kind of what it's kind of the Sausalito of Sydney, where it's a quaint little beautiful town, a suburb of Sydney, and they've got a great beach right there, Manly Beach, and they have a group every morning that leaves at 7 a.m. The beautiful Bondi group, between sometimes up to 100, 200 swimmers. They'll get together and they'll swim over to Shelley Beach, which is about 750 meters. They'll take a break and they'll swim back to Manly Beach there. So that's kind of an easy day, but it's very iconic, Manly. Then we'll walk down the beach, eat at a fabulous breakfast place right on the ocean, and we'll come walk through Manly and the shops. We'll get on a ferry, head across, and you'll see all of Sydney Harbor, and get off at Circular Quay, where all the ferries come in. We'll be picked up by van, and then we'll drive back to Bondi Beach and have lunch there. And then from there, Thursday afternoon, we will go into Sydney, and we'll actually be swimming at the Andrew Boyd Carlton 50-meter pool, beautiful 50-meter 10-lane pool right on Sydney Bay right there. So we'll do a workout in a regular 50-meter pool overlooking downtown Sydney, and of course the beautiful Sydney Harbor Bridge, which is something, if you want to do one touristy thing in Sydney, I recommend you do the Harbor Bridge climb, which takes about 3 hours. And I've taken 2 groups up there, and you go up to the very top, and you can see the whole bay and the whole Sydney, and take a picture and stuff like that. So, or you can just go out in your own. I'm going to personally take people on a walking tour of the Rocks District right there, which is the oldest part of Sydney. Sydney is a very old city, very populated by the mid 1700s. That's where they dropped off all the prisoners from England back then. That's how it got started, but you won't see that today. And then we'll get back and we'll have a fabulous dinner at a restaurant that I've eaten at many, many times. A great Italian restaurant. Or I think, no, it's Thai food that night. Sydney has a wonderful Asian food, some of the best in the world there, Thai and Chinese food, bar none, better than any Thai or Chinese restaurant I've ever eaten anywhere in the world. It's been in Sydney, Australia. Okay, then everybody's pretty pooped by then. And believe it or not, by 8:30, 9 o'clock, of course, you got a time change there of 15 hours. So we're all going to bed by like 8:30, 9 o'clock, because it's a full day. We'll get up at Friday morning, and we got a big swim where we're going to take you down to Bronte Beach, That's where the Bondi to Bronte 2.4 mile, that's where that ends. That's the next big beach just south of Bondi Beach. So either start at Bronte and swim down to Clovelly Beach, which is going to be about a 3K swim. Or if the winds and the tides are shifted around, we'll go from Clovelly up to Bronte Beach. And that'll be a big swim right there, probably around 3K. And for the newbies, if we need to start you down the coast further down, so you're not swimming as far, and drop the big boys and girls and avoid the surf coming out, that's what we can do there and stuff. So that will be that'll be Friday morning, and that will be a big swim. And then we'll come back, have lunch, and then we'll do people want to do a swim at the Iceberg outdoor 50-meter pool. We can do that in the afternoon type thing. Then Saturday morning, we'll do another Bondi Beach swim across the bay and back. And if you want to loosen down Saturday morning afterwards, then you need to rest, okay? Saturday afternoon is on your own to do what you want to do. If you want to go into the city, stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff to do in the city there. But the big event comes Sunday morning up at Palm Beach to Whale Beach. And there'll be, I bet, close to maybe 1,500 swimmers, going off of there. That's probably the second biggest open water swim of the whole season. The first being Bondi to Bronte Beach, but this one's about 25 miles north. So we'll go up there in a bus up there and do that swim Sunday morning. And that will be a good challenging swim. I've done that swim before. It can be a little windy up there starting off. But again, they're going to have so much safety and support people out there. You'd be amazed. They run a much better ship and they do in Australia than they do in the States as far as how they get it set up, how organized it is, how safe it is, because they basically got some swim somewhere every weekend during the summer season. And what's kind of fun at the end is they have a pro level that starts off. They've got professional swims, open water swims there that compete for cash and for prizes. And then at the end, when everybody's done with the swim, they do a pro swim where they sprint off the beach. Men and women, they have to sprint out about 300 meters, go around a buoy, sprint back 300 meters and run up the beach for, like a prize money, like $1,000 or $2,000. So that's kind of fun to watch and stuff. So that'll be good. And then we got a fabulous place on the way for lunch. That's just absolutely gorgeous. Again, overlooking the ocean on the way back. So that's kind of in a nutshell what happens in Sydney, and we could get into describing some of the food places that I love, because swimmers love to train hard and swim, but they also love to eat. Okay, and Sydney is one of the
I think
best
that's it.
international
I need to
cities.
come now. As soon as you say that, I'm
You
going to go.
know, they've got the best Asian food there, and Chinese, Thai. Don't get a steak there, but they do have excellent, fish and great Italian restaurants also and stuff. So I've done this tour. This will be my fourth tour there. I want to take a limited amount of people. I don't want a big, like say 15 people, like some of these other tours. I like to keep it at around 10. It's just easier to handle and stuff like that. So there'll be really kind of two levels. There'll be a newbie level, intermediate level, and then there'll be people that are, pretty experienced that, don't have swum open water or can handle maybe surf that's, 2 feet or less type of thing.
Jim, can we go over just real quick the dates that this happening again? I know you said it in the
Yeah,
beginning. I want to
yeah, the
race that.
swim is actually on Sunday, January 26th, 2025. Okay, and I believe the Tuesday, um, we meet January 21st, Tuesday night at the Adena Hotel to kick it off. So it's
And
the
any
21st through the 26th.
okay, 21st to the 26th, and then when should they arrive on that type of trip?
That's a good question. Some people will get there earlier and kind of tour around and get acclimated. It usually takes me, if I just get right there, at least, 2 or 3 days, coming off a long flight, to do that. Or people will, at least arrive a day or two ahead of time, do the swims and then they'll stay afterwards. Because again, that's a long ways to travel just to swim for 5 days. So everybody pretty much organizes some kind of touring before or after the swim. And there's a lot to do. You can go to the Blue Mountains, you can, stay in the city. So we'll be
It's an
driving around.
amazing place. Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a lot happening there. It's at the height of their summer season. Let me just say that the water temperature and at that time of the year is going to probably be in the low 70s. So if people want to, I would suggest renting a wetsuit if they want to wear one. The only ones that wore one were the day of the big swim, just because I think they wanted to be more competitive and stuff like that. But the salt water does keep you warmer. To me personally, 70, 72 degrees is absolutely perfect because I don't get cold and I don't overheat on a long distance swim. So once you get going in salt water, you heat up pretty fast. So
Yeah,
if you
I
want,
know coming from Maine, we're a lot colder in the summer than that weather is. So that should be nice and comfortable, like you're saying.
yeah, yeah, 70, 72 is for me is perfect. Right, for most people, and if they jumped in the pool, they'd have a problem with it. I love it, but at the ocean, it seems to be warmer because you're in salt water.
Right. And so what age groups normally are you looking for? Kind of what's the lowest age group that, because I know this you know
We've got
right.
some, that are going to be, usually the youngest are in their 30s.
Okay.
Okay, because again, you got to afford, you got to kind of be affordable, but most of them are kind of older adults. We've got several in their 50s and 60s. We had a couple both in their 60s that were brand new to open water swims and stuff. And then we had, two ladies that were like very accomplished open water swims that were like in their upper 50s, like 60. And then there was, kind of a more of a younger, crowd, 30s and 40s and stuff, because it's a big trip. You got to plan for it. So what I'm asking people if they're seriously want to go, I probably need to know at the latest by June 1st. And I've asked people of the 9 people that won last year, 4 are definitely coming back because they thought it was unbelievable trip. 2 are thinking about coming back. That's 6 right there. And I've really just got maybe room for like 4 more people to see if they want to have the lifetime of their life, the trip of their
Trip
life.
of a lifetime, right? That's absolutely it. That is fantastic. So how do they get a hold of you? How do they sign up for this?
They can just email me is the best thing to do. It's masters, MASTERS at jmswim.com. JM, which stands for Jim Montgomery, swim.com. And I get those emails all the time. And I can give them more information. Some people say, well, how much is it going to cost? You know, and I give them that breakdown. Basically, what I do is I pay for all the safety, the Bondi lifeguards. I pay for the transportation, the driver, the bus, training at the iceberg pool, the ferry costs, those things. And so this year, I want to get a little more. We did jet skis last year on the tougher swims and a lifeguard on a paddleboard. But this year, I want to actually maybe get a boat with a lifeguard in there with actually me in the boat like that. So what I'm looking at is a total fee of around $700 to organize all that. And I'm looking to get maybe a deposit on half of that by probably around June 1st. As far as the other cost, the Adena Hotel I mentioned is probably for one room. If you want to share it with someone, the room is right around 200 and like $20 or $30 a night American, which for that location and that quality room is really good deal. And then the meals, I try to go to where all the locals go. I've got two really good friends, Australian friends that grew up there and have been in Sydney their whole life. And we go to the places where the locals like to eat, and it's not a ripoff, and the food is excellent.
Got it. So you get the real experience, right? The Australian experience.
That's it.
That sounds like a wonderful trip. Folks, if you have an interest in this trip, make sure that you let Jim know by June 1st at latest. And remember, he's only got a 4 or 5 spots. So if you want to do this, the earlier you get in, the better, and get connected with him. Don't forget to bring your wetsuit and plenty of bathing suits and have a great time. And don't forget, you're going to have a great eating experience as well. So it'll be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thanks
Come
so
on
much, Jim.
down. Good day, mate.
That's great. Thanks so much for joining us, Jim, and I appreciate it. I know you're going to have a great trip again.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
A comment from Maria and Ken on their swim. You guys ready to go?
We're ready to go.
All right.
Zero for surfing and swimming.
Let's get the droughts over there. They're ready to go.
We're ready to go.
All right. Let's do it.
So they're breaking either side.
There's Nancy Schmidt getting last directions
So when
from
when you're coming back in, you
from
don't come
the
back.
old and beautiful
in the same
manager right
area.
there. Nancy, how you feeling?
Nervous.
Ready.
Oh, give me a fist pump. There you go. Look at how tough she is.